my name is Mairi, and I'll be talking about Viking architecture. The Viking longhouses reflects a society that lived in it very well. It is shaped like the Viking ship with oval sides and somewhere between 30 and 50 people living together in the house. The entire family and their slaves and often domestic animals in a stable room at one side. The inside has a low bench on each of the long sides on which the inhabitants slept at night. The fireplace is in the middle of the house, at its center, with a hole in the roof above to allow smoke to get out. Viking houses were adapted to the surrounding area. Some were made of turf because there were no trees around. A much used house type was the pit house, which was dug about 1 meter or 3.5 feet into the ground, using the surrounding dirt as a lower part of the wall. By digging the house into the ground, you take advantage of its insulating properties, and to some degree, the heat coming from the ground. Pit houses were used by the poor because of their low building cost, as the most used building materials were readily available in the immediate building area. Boathouses are the buildings used to hold Viking ships during the winter and any time they could not sail. They were usually built slightly back from the waterline. They were dug into the ground as well as built up. They had to be extremely long, as the Viking ships could be 25 meters long or longer. The walls were made of wood, with stones piled up at the base. Each held one ship only, but many boathouses could be built next to each other if multiple ships had to be housed. Ritual houses were the religious buildings before Christians came to Scandinavia. Early ritual houses were simple wooden buildings not much different from the other buildings. Ritual houses were a place to display the weapons of defeated enemies, but as time went on, they got more complex. They became imitations of churches. They often had multi-layer roofs with decorations on the peaks. The entrances were also ornamented with decorated columns. Most rituals, slaughtered and burnt animal sacrifices, took place outside, so the majority of the decorations were on the outside. Stave churches, used by the Christian gatherings in the Norse region because many Norse had been converted. The roofs were often multi-layered, and they usually had a tower or spire in the middle of the highest layer of the roof. They were built of wood and had stone walls around the base. From the outside, they looked more like complex forms of the ritual houses, but the inside was highly decorated with intricate designs. Most of the designs depict Jesus, a cross, or the disciples. And thank you for listening about Viking architecture.